Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be ranking the best cards in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM on this tier list. I have 50 of the best cards in my team on this list, and we're going to be ranking them on this tier list today. If there are guys who are not included on this list that you would like to hear my thoughts on them and where they stack up against the best cards in the game, feel free to leave a comment, because I know there are probably some guys left out that y'all are using on your team and would like to hear my thoughts on. Literally only have one Ruby on this list, or maybe two, I think. I think I have Cliff Robinson and Michael Ray Richardson on this list, but I decided to pretty much stick with the Amethysts and Diamonds besides that. Allen Iverson is the first card on this list, and I think among the best cards in the game, he's C or maybe even D. He's only a 6-foot point guard. He's not an elite level defender, although he is a good perimeter defender. He's not an incredible shooter, but he is a good one, and shot creation is very solid as well, but he's not an incredible card in any specific area, except for maybe some playmaking stuff. But the thing is, he's very small. He's only, what, 6 foot, 6'1", so not very big at all. He's an interesting card, though, and I'm he's fun to use. I just don't think he's great when it comes to the best cards in the game. Now, AK is great. A tier, for sure. I'm not going to give him S tier. I'm only doing 10 guys in S tier. I don't know if AK is a top 10 card in the game, but he's right near that top 10. There is a chance he winds up getting moved up into the top 10. He is 6'9", in my opinion, maybe the best lockdown defender in the entire game right now. Can guard in the interior at an incredibly high level. And I like his release. His movement is even decent. He's a really good card. Anthony Davis, probably going to go B tier. I think he's a borderline top 5 center in the game still. Really, really versatile, good card, but I do think we have several bigs who are better than him. I think B tier, high B probably, is the fairest spot for him. I think AD is still a top 20 to 25 card in the game, but I will say there are several cards better than him now. Bam Adebayo, not elite, honestly. I'm going to go C tier at this point. I know he still has half anchor, and he's got a decent release, but he's not incredibly quick, although he's not slow. He's a pretty versatile card and pretty good, but I think he's basically a worse Anthony Davis. Not as good defensively, not quite as good of a shooter, in my opinion, and also not as big. So while he's not a bad card, I don't think he's a great one by any means either, and I think C tier is fair for him. Blake will also go B, I think. Blake could crack the A tier, but so could AD. They could both crack the A tier. Blake is 85 speed. He's a poor defender, but he's super athletic. The strength and vertical help him out in that aspect as well, and he's a capable shooter as well. I love the 85 speed at power forward. He's a good card. Brandon Ingram, slow, a little bit baited release, and not a great defender. He's a really good offensive card still, D-book dribble style, very good fade, but I don't love his release, and I don't love him defensively. I think the best I can put him is C tier, to be honest. Brandon Roy, I also am struggling if he is an S tier card. I think he is. The ability to get every badge pushes him over the edge for sure, at least for me. It really, I think, elevates the card as an overall option. I just think he's a very, very good card. Great release, great slasher, good movement, and then once you get the shooting and the playmaking and the defensive badges on him and upgrade those badges to make him as complete as possible, he is an absolutely elite card still. Carmelo Anthony, I think, is B. He's better than Brandon Ingram. I still don't love the card as much as that might surprise some people. He doesn't defend very well, and I don't think his shot creation is incredible either. He's a good card, but maybe even C. I think I'd go B for Carmelo, though. I think he's very good. Chet Holmgren is an S tier par card, in my opinion, even with a 48 strength, 7'1", great all-around badges, super smooth release, super versatile, good card that even though he has that low strength, he still does enough else on the court at an elite level. Puts him in S tier. Chris Bosh, I think, has to go A. He's not quite a top 10 card in the game anymore, in my personal opinion, probably, but still think he's a really good card. Great release, or solid release. Not as good as it's been the last couple of years, but still a good release. The ability to get every badge is huge. He's a really, really good shooter, but he's also a good defensive card and a really versatile option. Kind of like what I was saying with AK. A great, great card. Cliff Robinson, I think he's better than Anthony Davis. I don't know if that's a crazy take. He's faster than AD. I think he's honestly as versatile, if not more so, defensively as AD. I actually like him better than Anthony Davis. I think he deserves an A-tier spot. I think he is maybe the best Ruby card in the game right now. Probably the best Ruby card in the game, to be completely honest. I think he's absolutely awesome. Wish he was an Amethyst, and all the other Motor Awards were an Amethyst, but he's amazing even as a Ruby. Devin Booker is only A-tier because he's one of the best 3-hunters in the entire game. His fade is incredible, and his dribble style is elite. His release in general is awesome. He's one of the best offensive cards in the game still. Defensively, he struggles, but that's okay. He's still an elite level card and deserves a spot pretty high on this list. Donovan Mitchell, yet another A tier. I don't think I can crack S tier for Donovan Mitchell either, to be honest, because he is only 6'1". He has a very long wingspan, which is nice, and he's a capable defender, but doesn't have clamps either. I mean, he's a very good card. There is no doubt at all that he's a really, really good card in my team, but my thing with this card specifically is, I don't know, the defense, the lack of size, it hurts him a little bit. It's enough to hold him back to A tier. I would say Dwayne Wade probably also has to go A tier. I think D Wade is better than Devin Booker right now, probably. So I will put them both in the same tier. They're probably about the same level of card. 6'4" for D Wade, but really good defensive point guard. He has a smooth, easy to release, even if it is a little bit slow, but it is very easy to time. He's a really good card. He's a great slasher. He defends his butt off. Really, really good free PG. He's an elite card. Giannis is best card in the game, in my opinion at least. He's an obvious S tier. He can do it all on the court. Incredibly good, capable shooter as well, but the slashing, the defense, and the playmaking is just absolutely exceptional. He is an out-of-this-world good card. Glenn Robinson, I think I'll go high B. I really do like this card a lot, kind of like Anthony Davis. Even the B tier guys are cards that I like a lot. I think Glenn Robinson might be the best card in B tier. If not that, he's right near the top. Really, really good release, and he moves pretty well as well. Defensively, he's versatile. Really, really nice card. Gordon Hayward probably also goes. Is he better? He's better than Brandon. He's better than. Yeah, I'm putting Devin Booker in B tier, and I'm putting Brandon Roy in A tier. I think that's what I got to do. Sorry, Gordon Hayward in A tier. Gordon is just a more versatile card. He's faster. He gives him more on the defensive end of the court. He's not the shot creator that D-Book is, but he's still got a really good release, and he's still an elite shooter. So I think B is fair. Hakeem is a 60-speed center who can't shoot. As much as I would love Hakeem to be good, and he is still a very valuable inside center. Among the top 50 cards in the game, he's D tier. Jaren Jackson Jr. is almost arguably S tier. I think he's on the same level as Chris Bosh, as just truly a top tier card at the big man spot in my team. Versatile card with a very, very smooth, easy release, and he's an elite level defender. Has near 80 speed as well. He's a monster. Jason Tatum, B tier. Good, really great release, honestly. Capable enough shot creator, but not incredible. But he also is a pretty good slasher, and he's a capable defender. He's a really, really nice all-around card. I think Embiid is an S-tier card. Embiid and Chet is close for me, to be honest, but I think they both probably deserve to be S-tier. Love Embiid's size and shooting ability. I think he's super versatile and super good. I'm a big, big fan of the card as a whole. Dr. J, probably got to go B-tier for him. Good card, not quite A tier anymore, though. Really, really smooth, easy release. Does a lot of things really, really well on the court, to be completely honest. Still a great slasher. You could certainly argue A tier, and I wouldn't disagree with you. If I have AK A tier, I also have to have Kawhi A tier. I'm actually tempted to move AK up. We'll have to see how this list progresses, but I do want 10 guys in S tier, and I think AK is one of the ones that I would certainly consider moving up. Kawhi is just slightly worse AK, in my opinion. Maybe a slightly better shooter, but not quite as versatile of a defender. Still an amazing card, though, and definitely an A tier guy. KD, S tier, 6'10", small forward to power forward, a hybrid, can get every badge, really good release, does everything well on the court. Elite level all-around card, stat, badge, animation, size, whatever, everything-wise, he's elite. Klay Thompson. I think I want to have a few guys in these lower tiers. So I'm going to put a guy like Klay, who's actually a pretty good 3-and-D shooting guard, down in the D tier because I want... Nah, I'm going to put him C. I don't think he's D tier. There's only going to be a few D tier guys in this list, but I don't think Klay Thompson is one of them. I think that is fair to put him in the C tier. Kyrie Irving, I'll go B. I think Kyrie, really good offensive point guard. Kyrie dribble style is the best dribble style in the game. His release is very capable, and his shot creates at an incredibly high level. Defensively, he's very poor, though. Kind of like Devin Booker. Really good offensive card, not there defensively. I think B tier is fair for him. I think this Larry Bird card is honestly pretty mid. I thought he was pretty good when he first came out, but his release is a little baited. He doesn't really do anything in terms of shot creation. He's a mediocre at best defender. He's not very good among the best cards in the game. Speaking of not very good, Luka Doncic is just a bad card. I hope y'all didn't lock in for him because he stinks. Legitimately just a bad card in my team. Magic is S tier in my opinion. 6'9" point guard. You just can't overstate the value of that. Even if he is, I think SGA is better. I think he's the second best point guard in the game. Magic is, but I think the size is incredibly valuable in terms of defense and just everything that he can give you on the court, the mashing offensively as well. Movement isn't great, but there are some glitchy Magic animations and stuff that you can use. I think he's a really good card. Also think that MJ deserves to be S tier as well. MJ is our 7th S tier card, which means we only have 3 more S tier spots, but I think that's fair. MJ, incredible defensive card. Great slasher, really, really versatile, good card. And then offensively as a shooter, he's not too bad either. Overall, really, really nice. MPJ, I'm going A tier. This card, 6'10". The size is probably the thing that really makes me solidify put him in A tier. Even though he's not a great defender, the player build is there and the release is incredible. The shot creation is amazing. He's like a budget KD, better Peja Stojakovic. He's a really, really good card. Michael Ray Richardson is pure defense. He's got an okay release, but he defends pretty well. I think he's A tier with a guy like Kyrie. I would still take D Wade over him, but I think, B tier. But I think Michael Ray Richardson in B tier is very, very fair. I also think that Jokic probably goes B. I'm going to put Jokic in high C. Very fun offensive card to use. He's not as bad as people think he is, but honestly, he's still 60 speed and he still doesn't really defend. So not going to defend that aspect of the card. I think C tier is fair. Also, Oscar, he's 6'5" at point guard and he's got a really good release, but he's not an incredible shot creator. He's not an elite level defender. I'm putting him high C as well. I would take, honestly, both Kyrie and Michael Richardson over him. I think C is fair. Also think C is probably fair for Paulo Banchero. He's slightly worse than Blake Griffin. He's athletic, but not insanely so. He's not an elite level shot creator. He's a good card, but he's not insane. I think that's very fair as well to put him down in the C tier. Paul George is S tier, definitely not B tier. Easy S tier. He's our 8th S tier player. 100% best shooting guard in the game. Great release, great slasher, great defender, capable playmaker. Nothing on the court that he's a negative at, and he's really, really good. Peja is a dog. Release is money. He's a basically worse Michael Porter Jr., kind of like Michael Porter Jr. is worse KD, but still he's a really, really good card with an elite level release, good push cross, and just super versatile and super good. Gonna go A tier here, back of A tier for Scottie Pippen. He's not quite as good as AK or Kawhi in my opinion, but he's still an elite level 3 and D with a super smooth release and great defensive ability. Still an awesome card. SGA is our 9th S tier. Of course, SGA, best point guard in the game. One of the best couple cards in the game right now. Really good release, great movement at 6'6", versatile and able to get every single badge. SGA is an absolutely incredible card. I think Shaq's got to go B. No. I think Shaq will go A. I'll give Shaq A with Jaren and Bosch. I don't like the fact that he can't shoot, but he's still such a dominant inside card. Still such a good card. Even with the way the gameplay has been tweaked, I still think A is fair. I also think A is fair for Sean Livingston. He is so solid in my team. Release is super solid, which makes up for the fact that he's got a 55 3 ball. I feel like I can still hit open with him. Put a shoe on him, though, to help that as well, I would recommend. But he's got good speed. He moves well, especially once you put a ball handle shoe on him. He can get the timing burst, and he's super versatile defensively. Gives you a lot of lineup variation, kind of like Magic, and he's got a faster release than Magic, which I think is a plus as well. Really like that Sean Livingston card. I think Sean Kemp has to go B tier. I think he's not as good as Blake Griffin. I think he's just basically a worse Blake. He's got still a very capable slasher. He's still a good card. I used him on my man account up until a couple days ago, but still got to go B tier. Sean Marion is C. He's just a little undersized at power forward. Doesn't quite have the key defensive badges I'd like, even though he is a good defender. And he can hit an open shot for sure, but his release is super janky. I think Steph has to go B as well. I just don't think he's that great anymore. I loved this card until the shooting patch and the gameplay patch, but now it's much harder to get open for threes, and even when you are open, you're going to get a lot more slowdowns and speed ups and things of that nature, which makes shooting really frustrating and hurts Steph, even though he's one of the best 3-on-3 cards in the game. I think he's still got to go B. Steve Smith will also go B, 6'8" at shooting guard, 3 and D, really good release, versatile defender, and 6'8" at the 3. That's about all you can ask for in terms of a top tier free shooting guard. Tim Duncan, I will put C. He's an inside center. He's a good inside center, but he's not as good as Wilt or Shaq. Can't really shoot the 3 at a very high level. Not huge either. He's a good card, but not incredible. I think B is fair. I don't want to keep putting everybody in B tier, but I feel like I have to. Tracy McGrady, 6'8" shooting guard, not an incredible defender, not an incredible shot creator either, but a very fun, very good card, great release, super athletic, also a B tier guy. Tyler Hero, I'll give him A. I'm giving Tyler Hero A. I think he's better than Kyrie and Steph and guys like that at this point guard position who are in B tier. I really do. I think he's a great card. Offensively, he's a beast. He slashes pretty well. His release is very, very nice. His fade is great. And then defensively, he's not the liability people realize. He's also 6'5", so he's got good size. He's a good card. I think Vince is going to have to go very high C. He's a great slasher, but he's not an elite level defender, and his release honestly isn't that incredible either. Vince is a very, very solid card still, and honestly all the guys in C are, but I don't think that's that crazy of a placement. And then finally I'll go Wilt, and I think Wilt also is going to go A tier just like Shaq. He's not an S tier card in my opinion, but I still think he's really, really good. We got to move one guy up to S tier, and the guy I'm moving up is Andre Kirilenko to give us 10. He's an incredible card, and overall I think this is a pretty fair list. Obviously the lower tiers have less cards in them. That's pretty common, but I hope y'all did enjoy this video. Let me know what y'all think of this tier list in the comment section down below. If there's anything you'd change, or like I said, any players you'd like me to give my thoughts on, feel free to let me know. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.